Thanks for sticking with us on Upper Michigan Today as we talk about heart health, improving our own, and we're about to show you a hands-only CPR demonstration. We're back with registered nurse Joe Ackerman. Joe, you went through this demonstration with us about a year ago. Elizabeth and I are going to see if we remember what you taught us a year ago. But first, when is it necessary to do hands-only CPR? Is it every time someone has a heart attack?
Well, if you know they have a heart attack, it's probably going to be beneficial to them at some certain point. Most of the time when you're doing actually CPR, something else is happening, so their heart is actually not beating, or it's not beating very well. So at that point in time, then you want to intervene at that point in time. So I get a lot of questions from people saying, well, if, let's say, Grandma Gertrude is there and she collapses in front of me, do I just automatically do CPR? Well, you should probably, figure out what happened at that point in time. So if you can see her breathing, if you can feel a pulse, then there's probably not a need for CPR at that point in time. Now, if you're not feeling a pulse or anything else like that, then you should look into CPR as an option at that point in time. So it's kind of one of those things. Hey, are you awake? Check for breathing, check for a pulse, and then go on from there. One of two things is going to happen, to be honest. One of the things that's going to happen is that if you start doing CPR and somebody's basically conscious and they just passed out for some reason, they're going to wake up going, what the heck are you doing?
Yeah.
So they're going to fight back, which is a good thing because that means you don't have to continue on. But most of the time in those situations where CPR is a necessity, you go ahead and you're going to do it, and they're not going to do a whole lot of nothing. So it's what you're trying to do is you're trying to bridge the gap, from when the experts get there and transferring them to a facility and go from there. So that's kind of where you're at. So I'm not going to say anything to you guys. I'm just going to let you go because there's a couple steps. Just remember, I want to make sure you remember both steps and go from there.
He is going to remember.
I don't know if I remember all the steps, but first I'm going to check their pulse and see if they're breathing.
Check their pulse too.
I don't remember if that's one of the steps, but I'm going to do it anyway because I want to make sure. Are you with us, Grandma Gertrude?
Right.
She's not responsive.
Right, she's not responsive. Before you start anything, what should you be doing? All right. What do we got to get? You guys are not the experts. What do we have to get en route to us?
Oh, call 911.
Hello, 911. Grandma Gertrude's on the floor.
That's the biggest key. That's the key. That's the big key. Because if you don't get the 911 coming, you're going to be doing this for a long, long time.
Yeah. Because we're just bridging the gap between them.
You're just bridging the gap. All right.
Okay, so we called.
Okay, we called. Check the pulse.
So
I recall this situation.
I'm going to spin you.
Okay.
Do you want the pants or no?
I'll be good.
Okay. No. You go over here because the legs are in the way.
Legs are that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right. So go ahead and start.
Okay. How we doing?
You're doing good. All right. And go maybe a little bit faster. There you go. That's about right.
Okay.
All right, and deeper. So you see where Tia's got the cheaters. So there's green lights. So middle of the chest, straight down.
I don't have cheaters.
Yeah, you do, but you got to go down a little further.
Oh.
There you go.
Oh, too much.
No, you got to go all the way down so it clicks almost. Now in your heart, on a reel, don't bounce. Don't bounce, because if you bounce, then you're going to be in big trouble. The biggest thing is you're trying to compress the chest about 1 to 2 inches.
Okay.
It feels so aggressive, but it's really not.
Right. Well, I mean, to be honest, when you start doing CPR, more than likely, I'd say probably about 80% of the time, you're going to crack some ribs. All right, but cracked ribs will heal. A broken heart really not gonna heal. So you kind of got to take that into the situation going on. And the biggest challenge is for you as you're doing this,
not tiring out.
You're waiting for something, somebody to show up. You're waiting for 911. You're waiting for the EMS because you called 911 to show up. All right. So that may take average response time in Marquette County is about maybe 8 to 10 minutes. So you might have to do this for 8 to 10 minutes by yourself. Now, if you have somebody with you, then after a couple minutes, you're going to say, hey, I'm getting tired because your efficiency is going down. Then I'll say, Joe, come over here, and you continue on and go from there.
And this is really nice because we have the dummy, which has the marker kind of to really show where we put our hands.
Right.
But if this was somebody just actually on the ground, how do you make sure you're in the right position?
So it's basically, for those of us that go to church, it's the sign of the cross. Okay, when those two areas cross, right on that sternum, there's a hard bone right there. That's right above your heart. That's basically protecting your heart. But it's also, in this situation, it's going to help you compress. All right, so what you're looking for. So basically armpit to armpit, nose to navel, wherever those cross, and then push.
Got you. Okay.
Hard and fast. That's the biggest thing, hard and fast.
And don't bounce.
Don't bounce. Always keep contact with the victim.
Well, we're going to keep practicing, you guys. We have to take another break, but we'll continue the conversation. This bracelet, man. I'd have to take my jewelry off.
Come a little farther.
Okay.
There you go. And there you go.
Okay. We'll be right back, wherever you guys are. We'll be right back.